Hi guys, welcome to .NET Mob. In this video, we are going to create a simple Dapper CRUD application. Actually, CRUD CRUD stands for Create, Retrieve, Update and Delete. So in this video, we will discuss how to implement operations like insert, update, delete, search and view with Dapper ORM. Actually, Dapper is a micro ORM for .NET platform. It is an open source project from Stack Overflow team. So let's get started. I will be using a Windows Form application to implement CRUD operation with Dapper. In order to create a Windows Form, go to File, then New, then Project. Select Windows under Visual C# from left panel. Then select Windows Form application. Then name your application here. I will name it as Dapper CRUD. Then select the location where you want to save the application. Then click on OK. So here we have our brand new Windows Form application. Now we are going to make a database with a table, and we will create stored procedures for insert, edit, delete, view and search, and then we will back to this Windows Form application. So this is my management studio. I'm gonna connect to my SQL Server instance SQLE 2012. Inside databases, I'm gonna create a new database. For that, right click on databases, then new database, then name your DB here. In this case, I will name it as Dapper CRUD DB. Click on OK. Actually, we are going to create an application to manage contact details of persons. So first of all, we are going to create a table. For that, right click on tables. The first column will be contact ID. Then data type will be int. The next column will be name, varchar 50. Then mobile, varchar 50. Then address, varchar 250. Then I want to set this contact ID column as primary key, and then I want the same column as identity column, so that we don't want to insert values into this contact ID. It will start from 1 and incremented by 1 upon new record insertion. In order to save the table, you can use the shortcut Ctrl S, or you can click on the save button here. Then name your table here contact, and click on OK. Below tables, you can see the newly created table here. If you can't see, you can click on this refresh button here. Now we are going to create stored procedures for insert, edit, delete and view. For that, click on new query here. Then make sure that we have selected our newly created DB here. Then I'm gonna create stored procedures for insert and edit. I will be using same procedure for create and edit purpose. So it will be something like this: contact, add or edit. Below that, we need to pass the parameters. As, then begin, finally put an end, and inside that, first of all, we will check whether contact ID is 0 or not. If contact ID is 0, it means we are going to insert new record. Otherwise, we need to update a record with the given contact ID. Inside the else part, we need to update the record. So it will be something like this. So here we have the sorry, we need to change that into worker. So finally we have our contact, add or edit stored procedure here. Let me execute it. You can use the shortcut F5 or click on this execute button here. So we have created the store procedure successfully. Now let's create store procedure for view all and search. So I will be using same store procedure for view all and search. So it will be something like this: create procedure, then procedure name will be contact, view all or search. Parameter will be search text worker 50 as begin, finally an end. So I want to select all columns from the table contact where search text is empty. I will explain these filters. Then name, like I'm using wildcard percentage, then search text, then wildcard percentage. So in case of view all, we will be passing this parameter as an empty string. So if it is an empty, it will retrieve all the records from our table contact. Otherwise, it will filter all the records with name containing search text. So it may be in the starting portion, or it may be middle, or it may be in the end of the name. So now I am gonna execute this procedure. For that, click on this execute. So we have created the procedure successfully. So we have one more stored procedure, that is delete. For that, I will be creating a stored procedure with name delete by id, contact delete by id. Parameter name will be contact id int as begin end. Delete from contact where contact id equals given contact id. That's it. Let me execute the query. So let me refresh this store procedure. Finally, we have created three store procedures: contact, add or edit, contact delete by id, contact view all or search. Now back to Visual Studio. Now we have to design this form. For that, I'm gonna drag a label text box pair from our toolbox. So one label, then one text box. Now we need two more label text box pair. For that, select all of them, then hold Control, then drag them below. Now we need three buttons. For that, I'm gonna drag a button here. In order to paste them, hold Control, then drag into the corresponding places. Now let me name them well. For that, right click on the text box, then click on property, or you can use the shortcut F4. So its name will be txt name. The label will be name, then mobile, txt mobile, address, txt address. I want to make this text box as multi-line, and then this will be for save purpose. I will name it as btn save, then text will be save Then this button will be for delete, name will be btn delete, this will be btn cancel, text will be cancel. I will name this data grid view as dgv contact. I want to change this form text here. For that, click on the form, then change the text here. It will be contact book. That's it. Finally, we need a text box and a button to search the contact table. For that, I will drag the text box into the place and then one button. I will name the text box as txt search. Button name will be btn search. Now let me arrange these controls. Now I am going to insert details from these three text boxes into our contact table using Dapper ORM. For that, I will be using this button save. For that, go to properties of this button, then click on events, then double click on this click. So it will create a code in the background. So first of all, I'm gonna create an object of the SQL connection. So I will use the class SQL connection. Now we need to resolve the namespace. For that, hold Control then paste it. So it will list the possible namespaces. Now we want to use the system.data.sql client. Then object name will be SQL con equals new SQL connection. Then inside that we need to pass the connection string. So it will be data source local /SQLE 2012 semicolon initial catalog. Here we need to specify our DB name. It will be Dapper CRUD DB. Integrated security to true. First of all, I'm gonna create a variable here int contact ID and initialized with 0. So here we are going to save the details from our text boxes. So first of all, we will check whether the connection is open or not. For that, SQL con dot state equals connection state dot closed. If it is closed, we want to open the connection here, so we will call the function open. Now we need to add Dapper into our project. For that, go to solution, right click on solution, manage, and you get packages for solution, and click on online, then search here Dapper, then install this package Dapper. a high performance micro ARM. Click on install. It will pop up a window to install. Click on OK. So it is adding Dapper into a project. Now it is done. Close the window. Now we need to use the namespace Dapper using Dapper. So inside this button click event, we are going to execute the store procedure contact add or edit. In order to pass values into store procedure in Dapper, we will use a class dynamic parameters. Dynamic parameters. I'm gonna create an object of the class as param. New dynamic parameters. Then we can map parameters using the add function param.add. Let me check what are the parameters that we have used in our store procedure contact add or edit. Right click on the procedure, then click on modify. So we have used 4 parameters: contact ID, name, mobile and address. Contact ID. In case of contact ID, we will pass this variable. It will be 0 in case of insertion. Rest of the parameter values will be passed directly from our form controls. In order to execute corresponding procedure, we will call the execute function SQL con dot execute. First of all, we will pass procedure name. It will be contact add or edit. Let me copy it and pasting here. Then we will pass this param object. Then we will set command type as store procedure. That's it. Now I am going to enclose these codes inside a try catch block. For that, select all of them, then right click, then click on this surround with, or you can use the shortcut Ctrl KS. Then type try. So it will enclose the code within a try block. So here we will get the errors. So we show the errors inside a message box. Message box dot show ex dot message. Finally, we will add a finally block. Inside that, we will close our SQL connection. SQL con dot close. That's it. Let me run the application. For that, you can click on this start button here. Sorry, we have misspelled integrated in our connection string. Let me stop the execution. Let me run the application again. So I'm gonna enter some test data into this form. Name will be John. Click on save. Let me check our contact table whether it is saved or not. Right click on the table, then click on select top rows. So we have saved the record successfully. Now I am going to implement the view all. If this search box is empty, we will show all of the records from our table. Otherwise, we will filter records based on the entered text here. First of all, I am going to create a class for contact. It will contain properties corresponding to each column in our contact table. So property in contact ID So this name should be exactly similar to our table column names here that we have given while creating our table. Now I am going to create a function to search or view all of the records from our contact table. Void fill data grid view. Inside this we will be calling our store procedure contact view or search. For that I am going to create an object of dynamic parameters param equals new dynamic parameters param dot add. Then here we are going to pass the value for this parameter search text directly from our search text box txt search dot text dot string. While executing this store procedure, we will get a set of records from our SQL server. In order to get the result, we have a method query in our Dapper. It will return IEnumerable collection. So in order to work with that, I'm going to create a list of contact list equals SQL con dot query, and we will pass the class here contact. The first parameter will be the name of our store procedure, then param, then command type dot store procedure. Actually it will return IEnumerable collection. We want to convert that into a list so that we can call the function to list. So we will set this list into our data grid view. For that we can set it like tgv contact dot data source equal to list. So we can call this function during the load event. For that, go to properties of the form, then search for load event, double click on it. Now we want to call the same function in the button click event of search button. Double click on this click event here. Then I'm going to copy the same code here. So I will call the function after execution of stored procedure contact add or edit. Let me run the application. So here you can see the contact record for John. Now I need to make this data grid view as read only, and I want to hide this contact ID column. For that, go to properties of this grid, then make it read only, set it true, and then inside the fill data grid view you want to hide the column, first column. Let me run the application again. So it is working fine now. Now I want to clear these form elements if we click on this cancel button. For that, go to properties of the button, then go to events, then double click on click. Then I'm going to define a function void clear. Inside that we will clear all the form elements. Txt name dot text equals txt mobile dot text, txt address dot text equals empty string, and I will set the contact ID to 0. because it will change during the edit operation, and I want to keep the save button text as save because it will also change during the edit operation. Text equals save, and I want to disable the delete button. Enable equals false, so we will call this function inside our cancel button click event, and we will call the same function after insert or edit operation, and I will call the same function during the form load event. So in order to edit a record, we have to double click on it, and then we will show the corresponding record in our form elements, and then we will enable this delete button, and we will change the save button text into edit. Now let's do that. We can open a record in edit mode in the double click event. For that, go to properties of the data view, then in events you can search for the event, double click, then double click on it, starting with try catch. Inside the try block, we will check whether the double click element is inside our data grid view. For that, we can do something like this: dgv dot current row index not equal to -1. First of all, we will set the contact ID. dgv contact dot current row dot cell. Inside that, we'll pass the index dot value to string, and we want to convert this string into int. For that, we will call the function convert to int, convert to int32. Then we will set other controls. And we want to enable the delete button. Delete dot enable equals true, and then we will change the save button text to edit. Let me run the application. Now in order to edit or delete this record, we want to double click this row. So we have John record opened in edit mode. So if we change John into John1, then click on edit. So here you can see it is updated to John1 because we have written the edit code already in case of insert. Now I want to show a message box showing saved successfully or edited successfully. For that, I will change the save button click event here. I will show the message box based on contact ID. If contact ID is equal to 0, we will show saved successfully. Else updated successfully. Now we want to deal with the delete operation. For that, we will use the delete button click event. Here I will call the stored procedure contact delete by ID, and it has one parameter contact ID. For that, I'm gonna create an object of dynamic parameters. In order to execute this stored procedure, we will call the function execute, then we will pass stored procedure name as the first parameter. Finally, we will call the functions clear. After that, we will call fill data grid view. Finally, we will show the message record is deleted successfully. Let me run the application. Now I'm gonna enter some test data into this application. Sam, mobile number will be something like this, and then address. Let me save it. So here we have save successful message. It is shown in the grid, and let me search for SA. So search is working fine. If I clear then search, then I can see all of the records. Then I want to edit the Sam record, Sam Junior. Let me update it. So update is working fine. Then I want to delete this record. Click on delete. So it is deleted successfully. So that's it guys. In this video we have discussed how to do CRUD operations with Dapper ORM. So we implemented operations like insert, edit, delete, view and search using Dapper ORM with a sample application, and you can download this sample application from the link given below in video description along with the SQL script. Please be subscribed to my channel .NET Mob for awesome videos like this. Don't forget to comment your feedbacks. Please like and share this video with your friends and colleagues so that they can benefit from this. Have a nice day. Bye.